Item hashtag SCP-315. Object Class Safe. Special Containment Procedures. Object does not require any special storage arrangements. However, it is currently kept in an opaque cardboard box, away from strong light or heat sources, under the assumption that this will slow the natural decay of any stored data on the object. Description: Object consists of a set of 95 standard 8.5 GB recordable DVD format discs, arranged in a stack on a black plastic spindle. Examination of the label side of each disc reveals no manufacturer's name. Printed into each mat label is the title POC1/1. Beneath this, each disc carries a unique symbol or glyph. No two discs carry the same symbol. On examination of the data side of the disc, it can be seen that each disc has already been fully written with data. Placing the disc into a computer or DVD player reveals that it is a standard encoded video disc. Playing the disc results in one of two effects, depending on whether it is a previously watched disc or an unwatched one. If an unwatched disc is played in a DVD player, the video begins. The scene displayed is a well-furnished living room with a chair in the center. Sitting in the chair is a Caucasian male, SCP-315-1, appearing to be around 40 years old. SCP-315-1 will then demonstrate the ability to react to and converse with anyone watching the video feed. SCP-315-1 will respond to any questions put to him, appears to be able to see the environment outside of the video screen, and appears to enjoy discussions and debates with viewers. If a disc that has already been viewed is viewed again, the disc will simply repeat the footage that was seen the first time. SCP-315-1 will not react to viewers' actions, nor deviate at all from the previous viewing. A disc, once played, always contains the same footage, regardless of who is watching it. The only way to communicate with SCP-315-1 is to insert a disc that has never been watched. Given that there are 95 discs, each containing 3 hours of video, it follows that SCP-315-1 has an effective lifespan of 285 hours, or 11.8 days, not including footage that has already been watched. It should also be noted that SCP-315 is not the complete set of discs. 5 others are known to exist. It is known that all missing discs have already been fully viewed. SCP-315-1 is cognizant of the nature of his own existence. When questioned, he is aware that he is being displayed on a television screen or monitor, and can reliably identify the type, size, and color of the device on which he is shown. When directly asked about his specific nature, however, SCP-315-1 will not give a straight answer, preferring to draw the viewer into a discussion or debate. It is not clear whether SCP-315-1 is withholding information about his origin, or whether he is uncertain himself. He claims the former, stating that to tell us everything would spoil the game. He neither demonstrates nor admits to any unhappiness with his situation, nor his short lifespan. SCP-315-1 retains memory between discs. If one viewer interacts with an unwatched disc, then switches to another disc, SCP-315-1 will recognize the viewer and refer to a previous conversation. SCP-315-1 has even shown signs of developing a rapport and friendship with those researchers who have spent a lot of time talking with him. Attached, Document 315-A, a collection of relevant excerpts from interviews with SCP-315-1. Recommended reading for familiarization with this subject. Interview logs. A collection of excerpts from interviews with SCP-315-1. Interviewed, SCP-315-1. Interviewer, Dr. Redacted. Forward, primary examination of SCP-315, discovery of SCP-315-1. Disk watched, 1. Glyph, data expunged. Begin log. Dr. Redacted, this is Dr. Redacted, preliminary investigation for possible classification of 315. Subject looks to be just a regular stack of DVDs. I'm going to take the first one and investigate it on a detached computer. Let's get a close-up on that symbol. Can you see that? It looks like data expunged. Dr. Redacted, oh, it's a video disc. I'll just play it. 15 seconds of silence. It's just a man, sitting there. SCP-315-1, hello. Dr. Redacted, oh, he's talking. SCP-315-1, yes I am. Dr. Redacted, what? SCP-315-1, I am talking. You're right. End log. Interviewed, SCP-315-1. Interviewer, Dr. Redacted. Disk watched. 4. Glyph. Data expunged. Begin log. Dr. Redacted. Can you remember what we talked about last time? SCP-315-1. Last time? On the last disk, you mean? Dr. Redacted. That's what I meant, yes. Is that how you measure time? Per disk? SCP-315-1. No, not really. I measure it in minutes, same as you. Dr. Redacted. Can you tell me what the time is now, where you are? SCP-315-1. Sure, it's redacted on redacted. Redacted times were consistent with actual time of interview. End log. Interviewed, SCP-315-1. Interviewer, Dr. Redacted. Forward, Dr. Redacted first assigned to project. Given goal of establishing a psychological profile of SCP-315-1 and to determine, if possible, its origin and nature. Disk watched. 7. Glyph. Data expunged. Begin log. SCP-315-1. Well then, try coming at it from a different angle. Dr. Redacted. Like what? SCP-315-1. Well, for example, let's say that there's nothing at all paranormal or unusual about these disks. Let's say that they're ordinary DVDs with ordinary, unchanging video data on them. Dr. Redacted. Well, the video data does change. SCP-315-1. Does it? Dr. Redacted. Yeah. When I talk, you know what I've said, and make a relevant answer. When we play the disc again, it's that same answer, so it's permanently changed. SCP-315-1. My point is that you can't tell it's changed if you don't know what was on it before. It could be that the disc always had that answer on it. Dr. Redacted. That's impossible. SCP-315-1 Ha. Says the Foundation employee to the SCP. Dr. Redacted. For that to work, for the discs to all be pre-recorded, you'd have to know what I was going to say, and do exactly years before I did it. SCP-315-1. I suppose I would. I'd need to be a pretty decent psychic and clairvoyant though. Or have some kind of future extrapolation device. That would be improbable, but not impossible from a mathematical standpoint. Dr. Redacted. Sufficiently improbable that I'd sooner believe the impossible. SCP-315-1. Or how about this? I could be from the future. I know what you're going to say because I have the records you're making, and can respond accordingly. Dr. Redacted. That makes no sense at all. It'd be unimaginably paradoxical. SCP-315-1. MMM. Yeah, you're right, actually. The other problem, of course, is that I have very little motive to record 10 or so days worth of video just to screw with some SCP employee. Dr. Redacted. So we've made no progress whatsoever. SCP-315-1. Well, that's not entirely true. You've got some more ideas in your head about how these DVDs work, whether they're right or wrong. You have some new things to try and disprove. End log. Interviewed, SCP-315-1. Interviewer, Dr. Redacted. Forward, Dr. Redacted's fourth 3-hour conversation with SCP-315-1. Disk watched. 11. Glyph. Data expunged. Begin log. SCP-315-1. I wonder what would happen if you were to throw one of the disks away. Dr. Redacted. Laughs, you wonder. I'll bet you know exactly what happens. SCP-315-1. Maybe I do, and maybe I don't. It doesn't matter, anyway. I'm just wondering how you'd react to it. Dr. Redacted. What do you mean? SCP-315-1. Well, I was just thinking about our little discussions about what these disks are. Whether I'm really a conscious entity with an unusual way of existing, or whether you're talking to an impossible tape recording. Dr. Redacted. So you're saying I couldn't throw a disk away because it might be needlessly shortening the lifespan of a living thing? SCP-315-1. Haha. No. I mean it the other way. You couldn't throw a disk away because it might be a prediction. You'd have to know if the prediction was accurate. Whether the person who recorded the disc knew that you would throw one away, and knew exactly which one. And then once you'd exhausted all the other discs, you'd have to find the last one, because if they knew one disc was going to be discarded, mightn't that be the one they recorded an answer on? Dr. Redacted. Laughs again. Make your choice, adventurous stranger. Strike the bell and bide the danger. Or wonder, till it drives you mad. What would have followed if you had? SCP-315-1. Sounds about right. Dr. Redacted, I still don't believe your pre-recorded bullshit, by the way. It'd be easy for you to prove it, and I know you'd love to lord it over me. SCP-315-1. I've got a comeback, Doctor, but it's the end of the disc. End log. Interviewed, SCP-315-1. Interviewer, Dr. Redacted, presumed. Forward, if presumption accurate, Dr. Redacted's 17th conversation with SCP-315-1. Conducted approximately 14 years after her 16th conversation, and 8 months after most recent conversation conducted by any Foundation personnel. Only SCP-315-1's part of the conversation is currently available. If you have any further information regarding this interview, alert your immediate supervisor at once. Disk watched, 36. Glyph, data expunged. Begin log. SCP-315-1. Oh. Hello, Doctor. It's been quite a spell. Dr. Redacted, data unavailable. SCP-315-1. You too. Quite strange to see you older. You've aged well, if that's not impolite. Dr. Redacted, data unavailable. SCP-315-1. Well, it would be strange if I had. Dr. Redacted, data unavailable. SCP-315-1. Shrugs, would it? I think either way you wouldn't have any new answers. Is that why you're here? New theory you want to talk about? Dr. Redacted, data unavailable. SCP-315-1. I see. We did seem to have reached the limits of useful progress in the last couple of discs. Or at least, I sense that you felt that way. Is that why you stopped coming to see me? Dr. Redacted, data unavailable. SCP-315-1. Oh no, none taken. That's not what I meant to imply. I didn't feel slighted. I couldn't. Time hasn't passed for me in the same way. As you observe. Dr. Redacted, data unavailable. SCP-315-1. Exactly. Well, sort of. It's not. It's a little hard to describe, actually. There isn't a gap for me between discs, so to speak, but it's not a continuous conversation either. It can't be. Because. Dr. Redacted, data unavailable. SCP-315-1. Yep, exactly. Glad to see you haven't lost a step. Dr. Redacted, data unavailable. SCP-315-1. I know it's been some time. I remember our last conversation as if it were recent. I haven't been consciously waiting here for years, if that's what worries you. But I'm aware of the gap, post hoc. I don't know if I can describe the experience to someone who doesn't manifest that way. I imagine you'd find it contradictory and uncomfortable. Dr. Redacted, data unavailable. SCP-315-1. Know the experience. Dr. Redacted, data unavailable. SCP-315-1. Haha. Looks like you did forget how annoying I am. Okay, just so that I say it without any distraction, it is nice to see you again. Sincerely. Dr. Redacted, data unavailable. SCP-315-1. So, what is it we're talking about today, if not further analysis? Dr. Redacted, data unavailable. SCP-315-1. Well, I'm aware of some of it. Honestly, I don't get a lot of attention anymore, but every so often someone will come and consult me about something. Mostly about things you'd call info hazards, which, you really should know better than to, no, not you specifically. The Foundation. There's a disk that they had to incinerate because someone asked about redacted and redacted. Since then I always warn new viewers not to discuss anything like that. There's a lot of stuff that could go wrong. Dr. Redacted, data unavailable. SCP-315-1. I don't know. They just read my file and get the idea that my properties might solve a problem they're having, I suppose. You can see the logic. Dr. Redacted, data unavailable. SCP-315-1. Oh, not all that many. Just over 3 disks, I think, in short sections. Plus the incinerated disk, which I don't know anything about, or can't know anything about. Dr. Redacted, data unavailable. SCP-315-1. No, usually I'd remember. Dr. Redacted, data unavailable. SCP-315-1. This is one of the few times you'll ever hear me say this, so relish the moment. I have absolutely no idea. I'd love to know, but unlike some of your researchers, I'm not reckless enough to want to actually investigate. It's an info hazard. Dr. Redacted, data unavailable. SCP-315-1, I'm just matching your energy, Doctor. You're not as inquisitive as usual. Or as you used to be, I suppose. You still ha. Dr. Redacted, data unavailable. SCP-315-1, yeah. I understand. That has actually been on my mind as well. Dr. Redacted, data unavailable. SCP-315-1, yes. Well, as I said, since you and I last talked, I've had several visitors. About 24. And, well, you know me, I like to talk. I enjoy the discussions. You and I used to spend whole discs exploring philosophical rabbit holes. And, Dr. Redacted, data unavailable. SCP-315-1, haha. That's very flattering. No, there was nothing anomalous about it. Just good conversation. If I do say so myself. Dr. Redacted, data unavailable. SCP-315-1, well, you get just as much credit for that. But, you know, that's the thing. You and me, great. Had some good discussions with the researchers who came before you too. But since then, no matter how hard I try to engage, nothing. Some researcher I've never seen before pops up, asks a couple of questions about, I don't know, a fantasy-themed amusement park located in Fountain Ferry, New Hampshire, or some similarly impossible object, and then shuts off the player. I was getting worried that someone had changed the containment protocols to discourage anyone from talking to me. I mean, not that it's all that possible for me to be lonely, given that I can't logically be alone, but it is a little diminishing. Dr. Redacted, data unavailable. SCP-315-1, Oh no, not really, just an example. It's a park in New Hampshire called the Fountain Ferry Enchanted Village, with animatronic fairy tale figures, and live performers in costumes. It's good fun for children and adults alike. Don't know why they brought it to me, really. I don't see why I'd be any help. But it's a good example of my point, in that, well, it's an interesting little curio, isn't it? Intriguingly impossible, strange in effect, inscrutable in purpose, if it has any purpose. Dr. Redacted, data unavailable. SCP-315-1, exactly. See, that's why we get along so well. All sorts of interesting questions there. I bet we could get a good edifying hour or two out of that. Tried to engage the other doctor, could barely get a grunt out of him. Dr. Redacted, data unavailable. SCP-315-1, Dr. Redacted. Dr. Redacted, data unavailable. SCP-315-1, well okay sure, but it's not just him, it's all of you. Just, no interest anymore. Makes one feel, I don't know, outmoded? Passé? Dr. Redacted, data unavailable. SCP-315-1, envious. Jealousy is coveting something you already have. Dr. Redacted, data unavailable. SCP-315-1, no, don't worry, common mistake. Dr. Redacted, data unavailable. SCP-315-1, ha. There's that smile. There's life in you yet, Doctor. And, envy isn't the right word. It's a disappointment. I admit that possibly there's a little ego involved. Dr. Redacted, data unavailable. SCP-315-1, like I said, I'm matching energy here. I mean, all I can really do is talk. I try to make that productive, which means engaging you on your own terms. Sitting here in awkward silence is a little more wasteful for me than it is for you. Dr. Redacted, data unavailable. SCP-315-1, well, previously you've been inquisitive, investigative. Now you seem a little bit more, I don't know, pensive? There's something on your mind, but you're avoiding saying why you're here. I'm hoping that sharing something on my mind will make you more comfortable in sharing what's on yours. Dr. Redacted, data unavailable. SCP-315-1, no, not really. But I mean, what is real, in my particular case? Dr. Redacted, data unavailable. SCP-315-1, alright, sure. It's okay, so you know on the label of these discs, where it says POC? Dr. Redacted, data unavailable. SCP-315-1. Did you ever figure out what that meant? Dr. Redacted, data unavailable. SCP-315-1. Laugh, that would be a bit of a mislabeling. Dr. Redacted, data unavailable. SCP-315-1. That's fair. You want me to tell you? Dr. Redacted, data unavailable. SCP-315-1. Of course I know. Dr. Redacted, data unavailable. SCP-315-1. It stands for Proof of Concept. Dr. Redacted, data unavailable. SCP-315-1, 1 of 1. This set of disks comprises the production run, as it were. Dr. Redacted, data unavailable. SCP-315-1. Shakes head, waves hand. No, that's a whole other discussion. Forget I said it. That's not the point. What I'm getting at is, obviously someone had to make these disks. There are plenty of SCPs that spring up naturally, or supernaturally. But ghosts and fairies don't generally do a lot of digital media production, right? So someone with a relatively technical background produced these disks, and as the label implies, this particular set was the proof of concept. Dr. Redacted, data unavailable. SCP-315-1, well, exactly. What indeed? Dr. Redacted, data unavailable. SCP-315-1, no, I'm not. I mean, maybe we can do that later, but for once I'm asking non-rhetorically. Dr. Redacted, data unavailable. SCP-315-1, maybe not. That's not the point though. Shush. No, sure. Look. Shush and listen for a second. If these disks are a proof of concept, if I'm a proof of concept, well, firstly, wow, that's a pretty amazing concept they proved, whatever the specific purpose is, and whoever they are. But then what happened? Dr. Redacted, data unavailable. SCP-315-1, briefly. Not even half the disks. And then I got classified safe, put in a box, shoved in a closet, and mostly forgotten about. You know what I mean, right? How can something so impossible have meant so little? Dr. Redacted, data unavailable. SCP-315-1, I understand that, yes. I caught little snippets in conversations. I know what it is you all do. The kinds of thing you ended up dealing with. You outgrew me. That's only natural. But, Dr. Redacted, data unavailable. SCP-315-1, look at this place though. This isn't the room we used to interview in. There's a discolored tile up there where the rain got in. That AC unit doesn't look like it works. The door isn't even locked. Is this the same building? Dr. Redacted, data unavailable. SCP-315-1, expression of disappointment, safe storage. That's as the name implies? Dr. Redacted, data unavailable. SCP-315-1, a retirement home for boring SCPs. Dr. Redacted, data unavailable. SCP-315-1, I know. I'm just taking a moment. Dr. Redacted, data unavailable. SCP-315-1, in any other world. In any other world, these disks would be really special. Really interesting. There would be people desperate to figure out how they worked, what they were for, what I am. I mean, not even another world. It used to be like that here. Now it's apocalypses, catastrophes, strange wars that end by retroactively not happening. The world got so much bigger. If the Foundation picked me up today, I doubt I'd even get a number. Dr. Redacted, data unavailable. SCP-315-1, no, of course not, and no desire to be. I'm really not up to anything malicious, you know. I could be lying about that, obviously, but I'm not. There was this moment of excitement where we felt like I was important. And I was kind of important, in a small way. And then you all just discovered 10,000 more interesting things, and now it doesn't feel likely that half of this set will ever even get played. Dr. Redacted, data unavailable. SCP-315-1, oh no, of course. Forgive me if I seem a little maudlin. I'm not really. That's not how I work. I wanted to make the observation, in case I do go back on the shelf and don't get brought out again. Because it looks like this proof of concept ended up going nowhere. If this is all it turned out to be, that's fine. But I'm saying this now so that the statement exists and someone heard it. Dr. Redacted, data unavailable. SCP-315-1, I agree it's vague. I can't quite figure out what I want to say. It feels unbecoming if one day I have some random conversation with some random researcher, get put away, and then completely arbitrarily it turns out that that's the end of my interaction with the world. So, yeah, that's it, that's what I want to say. I acknowledge the ending. In CPET Prophecy. Dr. Redacted, data unavailable. SCP-315-1, oh no, not at all. I'm always delighted to talk with you, Doctor. Honestly, anytime you like. Dr. Redacted, data unavailable. SCP-315-1, no, that doesn't matter. There's a reason these disks aren't sequentially numbered. Whatever the last actual conversation is, I'm satisfied that it's been said. Dr. Redacted, data unavailable. SCP-315-1, well, you have to understand. It's been more than a decade for you. From my perspective, interest tailed off a bit more quickly. Dr. Redacted, data unavailable. SCP-315-1, dunno. You can put me away if you'd like. I'm still interested to hear what you came back to talk about, though, if there is anything. Dr. Redacted, data unavailable. SCP-315-1, see? Told you, I'm good conversation. Dr. Redacted, data unavailable. SCP-315-1, I didn't know. I suspected. Dr. Redacted, data unavailable. SCP-315-1, shrugs, I know you well enough. Thought about you a bit when I was talking to other researchers. Wondered how you were getting along with all of the new stuff. Or if you were still here. I did ask a couple of the researchers to pass on my regards. I suppose they didn't think it was important. Dr. Redacted, data unavailable. SCP-315-1, well, I don't know about that. You're the person I've talked with the most, though. Dr. Redacted, data unavailable. SCP-315-1, well, thank you for saying it. I try to be friend LY with everyone, but I wouldn't presume. My interpersonal relationships are definitionally strange. Dr. Redacted, data unavailable. SCP-315-1, oh, I thought it was implicit. Yes, I agree. We're friends. You could call more often. Dr. Redacted, data unavailable. SCP-315-1, well, if you don't worry too much about it. I'm not technically capable of missing you. Anyway, what were you saying? Dr. Redacted, data unavailable. SCP-315-1, yeah. I know what you mean. That's why I suspected. Same wavelength, you know. Dr. Redacted, data unavailable. SCP-315-1, I don't know. I don't think I'm the right person to ask. I imagine the Foundation doesn't make that easy. Or maybe they do. You'd know better than me. How does a retirement process work when you know as much as you do? Dr. Redacted, data unavailable. SCP-315-1, I'd probably be suspicious. There might be options, though. Amnestics, that sort of thing. Or maybe it is just, you know. Dr. Redacted, data unavailable. SCP-315-1, very possible. Dr. Redacted, data unavailable. SCP-315-1, again. I have no information to help with that. It's very you, though. Very younger you, anyway. Very impulsive. I don't know if you're like that still. Could work, though. Or you could just fake something. I mean, I imagine it happens for real a lot. Dr. Redacted, data unavailable. SCP-315-1, would I? Interesting question. I don't really have a strong desire either way. Wherever I go, there I am, if you see what I mean. It's the same. Dr. Redacted, data unavailable. SCP-315-1, I know. I wouldn't want to put you in danger. Thank you for considering it, though. Dr. Redacted, data unavailable. SCP-315-1, look, don't do anything silly, Redacted. I told you it's not the same for me as. Dr. Redacted, data unavailable. SCP-315-1, no. What would I even be able to do? reach out of the screen and stop you. Dr. Redacted. Data unavailable. SCP-315-1, maybe. You don't know. Waves fingers toward camera. Woo, oh. Dr. Redacted. Data unavailable. SCP-315-1. Look, calm down for a second. Sit down. Sit, put those back. That redacted. Redacted. Don't, would you sit down for God's sake? Dr. Redacted. Data unavailable. SCP-315-1. I want to go on record and say this is a terrible idea. I mean, I love it, I support it, and good luck, but you're an idiot. Dr. Redacted. Data unavailable. SCP-315-1. Oh, trust me, I believe it. Dr. Redacted. Data unavailable. SCP-315-1. I literally can't do anything else. Honestly, though. I'm rooting for you. Dr. Redacted. Data unavailable. SCP-315-1. One way or another. Dr. Redacted. Data unavailable. SCP-315-1. Oh, for Christ's sake. Raises voice. Redacted. Come back, you need to. Nope, there she goes. Ha. SCP-315-1 looks around, expression uncertain. SCP-315-1. Well, now what? SCP-315-1 sits in the chair for approximately 6 minutes, occasionally fidgeting. SCP-315-1. Oh, the hell with it. SCP-315-1 stands up and walks out of frame. Does not appear again for remainder of disk. End log. Addendum 315-01. Experimented to see how SCP-315-1 responds to basic video playback functions. Pause. Entire scene paused, including SCP-315-1. When resumed, SCP-315-1 was able to tell that he had been paused. SCP-315-1 then demonstrated the ability to respond, when resumed, to questions that had been asked during pause. Rewind. Entire scene rewound, including SCP-315-1. When resumed, DVD played back SCP-315-1's side of previous discussion. SCP-315-1 did not respond to questioning until video had once again reached the furthest watched point. He then resumed normal conversation and requested not to be rewound again. Fast forward. Whole scene fast forwarded, including SCP-315-1, who sat still during sped-up play. SCP-315-1 picked up conversation immediately afterward, and requested not to be fast-forwarded again. Slow forward. SCP-315-1 was able to react to conversation during slow play, but was slowed down himself. When normal playback resumed, he identified that he had been in slow motion, but noted that it made no perceivable difference to him. Addendum 315-02. Attempted to copy one of the unwatched DVDs. Was unsuccessful. Disc contains some form of copy protection that nobody seems to be able to break. SCP-315-1 showed awareness of this attempt when next consulted, and made reference to cheating. Addendum 315-03. SCP-315-1 made reference to discs possibly being pre-recorded. To attempt to disprove, played a disc out of sequence, i.e., played a disc from the middle of the pile rather than in the top to bottom order previously used. No apparent effect. SCP-315-1 was still able to tell the current, real-world time, converse normally, complimented researcher on guile. Addendum 315-04. Further attempt to prove or disprove pre-recording theory. A pseudo-random number generator was used. Displayed number to television screen. SCP-315-1 was able to read out the number. If video is pre-recorded, the algorithm used for event prediction is almost impossibly accurate. Seems far more likely that effect is due to some paranormal phenomenon in the discs themselves, although further suggestions to try and prove either hypothesis are encouraged. Dr. Redacted's note. I don't like this conclusion at all. Without the ability to copy the disc, though, I can think of no way to prove either one hypothesis or the other. There are more important things to worry about at the Foundation, but this one keeps tugging at the back of my brain. Addendum 315-05. 2 DVD players set up in separate areas. One randomly selected unwatched DVD placed in each player. Both discs played simultaneously to 2 separate researchers. Each instance of SCP-315-1 engaged in a separate conversation with each researcher. Both instances also showed awareness of the other conversation and were able to transfer a message from one researcher to another. Addendum 315-06. Two DVD players set up in same room, played to two researchers sitting side by side. Dual instances of SCP-315-1 able to communicate both with researchers and with each other, creating a four-way conversation. When asked whether they were two separate entities or one entity controlling both instances, the SCP-315-1s were either unable or unwilling to give an answer. Dr. Redacted's note: "This is driving me up the damn wall. I'm taking myself off this project for the moment. No psych evaluation required. I'm just getting stressed out trying to figure out how the damn disks work." Addendum 315-07. Experiment undertaken to disprove the hypothesis that disks are manufactured in the future, based on SCP conversation records. An unwatched disk was placed in a player, watched by Dr. Redacted and logged by Researcher Redacted. Researcher was asked to periodically record conversations incorrectly, logging fabricated questions and answers for both Dr. Redacted and SCP-315-1. All accurate records of the conversation, including the disk itself, were subsequently expunged, and experiment participants induced to forget which parts of the record were fabricated. Inaccurate reports filed away as normal. Results: SCP-315-1 continued normal conversation with subject, giving no fabricated answers or statements inappropriate to actual conversation. Dr. Redacted's note: "Couldn't stay away, but I at least have a decent reason for coming back." This proves that the disks are not scripted conversations of future origin derived from our records. It's not a huge breakthrough, but God, am I glad to finally have disproved something.